Hi everyone, Ann Olson here, and today I'm working on a quilt that I'm putting designs in the sashing. And so I've got a design that's going just right here, and then a design that's going to go the full length of here. So these will come here, 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 and here. So what I did is I went into the computer and I'm in, let me go back out so I can show you where I'm at. I'm in Pantograph, okay? And I'm in basic right here. So we're going to select the pattern and I'll show you the one that I picked out. It's in our continuous line, and I believe you all have this also because I think this was an original leaf pattern. It's called leaf multi. So that's the pattern right there.
You
And
don't need gold to have it?
no, I believe it came in your original programming. So I'm picking that one there and I'm going to open it. And so there's a single one. That's what I'm going to use in this sash right here because that fits perfectly. But I don't want it to have this little line on it, okay? And so in order to do that, I'm going to go back out of here, and I don't want to save the design right now. I'm going to go into Pattern CAD right here, and I'm going to go pull that design up again right there. Okay, so here's the design in the computer on our screen. It's real simple. We're going to go over to draw, and I'm going to say remove last. I know that it starts here because of the green circle, and I know that it ends here because there's two red circles. I'm going to say remove last. So watch what happens. Look, it took that away. Now my design is going to be the leaf and then connecting them, and I don't have this extra line that looks like it needs to go somewhere. So that's perfect. Then I would save it. You can look at it and make sure it stitches out like you want it to, which it will if I animate the stitching for you. There it goes. And I can say okay, because that's perfect. So then I would save it. And then for my stuff, I have created a custom borders folder. And so I click that, and I believe I've already actually saved this. I just thought it'd be a good thing to show you. So I called it Leaf Multi Single. And so there it is, and I'm going to hit save. You would, of course, want to type in your name for it and save it. So I'm going to overwrite in my case. You would just save yours. Okay. So now that sash design for going in my uprights is here. And yes, I know it's horizontal, but that's okay. I'll show you. But right now we're going to go, and I'm going to set up, we're going to go back to Pantograph, and I want to set up this long one. Obviously, it's going to take more than just one to fit that space and look nice and proper. So I want to be in basic panto mode. And so to change your panto mode, you just hit on it, and then there's your options. And I want to stay in basic. I'm going to use the ruler, which is up here, and I'm going to mark the approximate size of what that sash is. So I want to use this button right here that has the ruler and gives me the length and the height of it. And so then I'm going to go up here, and because I'm dealing with the raw edge, I want to come in about 1/2 inch so that we've got binding edge and the space that I want to allow, because I'm going to set this in here so that it is not going to get cut off by the next stitching line. So I'm going to come up to about 1/2, and I'm eyeballing it, which you can be exact if you prefer to be exact. So I hit that first button right there. I'm going to go all the way over here to mark it, and I want to be my 1/2 inch in here and 1/4 inch. So I'm using the foot as my guide for along the seam line. For this next one, we're going to hit this one, and see it changes and gives us that nice long sash. So then I want to say apply measurement. Now it has applied it. So the width is 49.7 and the height is 2.68. Okay. So now I go select my pattern. I've got to go back to my continuous line folder and go down to multi-leaf, and there it is. And I'm going to open that, And now definitely I do not want it stretched out that long. So I'm going to change how many patterns there are. I'm going to say 5 and see if that looks pretty good. I'm counting. Yeah, that should work. If you want to be exact, you could measure here and then kind of calculate and figure out how many you really need. We could add one. Actually, I might like that better. 6 looks a little better. Maybe this leaf isn't stretched quite so much. So I think I'm going to stick with the 6. Now, what I want to do is I want to save this because I'm going to take that extra line off just like we did on the other one. So we're going to say save. And I'm going to temporarily save it. I'm going to go into custom borders because that's where it's going to go eventually. And I have some temporary names up here that I use. So I'm going to use this long one, 1set2, as just my temporary place to save it. And that name is that already there with a design. So I'm going to say, yes, I want to overwrite. Okay, now we go back to, because we want to take that off, we're going to go back home. We've already saved our design, so we can tell it no. We're going to go back into Pattern CAD. And I want to pull up that same design I just did, which is 1set2. All right, there's the long design. So this same situation, you can use plus to make it bigger so you can see it if you need to. You can turn off your nodes, which, okay, there it is. Same thing as I did on the little one. I'm going to go to draw, and I'm going to remove the last node. All right, it did not do anything. Let me zoom in, and I'm going to slide over. Takes it a little while because this is a big pattern to slide over. Okay, so now I can see I'm closer. I'm going to put those nodes on just so I can see. Okay, this is why. The nodes are a whole bunch of nodes. So let's go even closer. If I wanted to actually zoom in right here and go, whoops, let's get out of, now we really do need to remove last. See how I'm removing those? Okay, so we're going to go back to edit for a minute. I want to highlight, so I just put my finger on the screen and dragged it. I've highlighted that area. Now when I zoom, it'll zoom on that spot. Okay, see that worked better? So I could zoom right where I wanted to. Now go and unselect all, turns off those nodes, go back to draw. Now I can remove last, and I can see that I need to do it several times. You could also highlight those. Let's see here. That won't be, you got to go back to, you have to go back to edit. See, there's several different ways, so you want to play with it and see what you could do. If I go back in here and I select, but I have to be careful not to select this leaf, I can say delete. So I highlighted those, I can delete, and it deletes all of those. So you can delete more than just one at a time. Now I'm getting to, let's delete that. Now I'm getting to where I might run into those others, so I'm going to go back to draw, and it'll be easier here just to say remove last until I get it to where I want it. So I just keep hitting that button. Okay, that looks like we've got it pretty much removed. Let's turn the nodes off a minute. Yeah, so now it looks good. So what I want to say here is save. And I'm going to save it this time. Maybe in the future I might want this design again. So I might give it a name, or I might just save it as that same thing. Most likely the next quilt's going to be a different length per se, so I don't necessarily save it. I'll save my upright sashes like I've done here. That's a border, but here's a sash. So I'm just going to put it right back in there because it doesn't need to be a all the time save. So I'm going to save it as, and we're just overriding that last design we put in there. We'll say yes. Now it's gone. We can optimize it just to make sure there's no blue points or stop points, and there isn't. So here it goes. All right,